This is still the Earth and Space Science series of the Knowledge Catalog, and we are still working on the fifth learning competency of Grade 9 Earth and Space Science, which is explaining how different factors affect the climate of an area. If you want to follow through with the Learner's module, you can open it on Unit 3, Module 2, pages 38 to 40. Let's begin. Alright, so this session is divided into the following parts. The first part is activity number 4. Which side do I choose? Windward or leeward? And then the second part is a discussion on windward and leeward sides of a mountain. And then the last part is an activity called climate culture. So there is no particular number for that activity because I just sort of like made it up. Okay, so let's begin with the first part. Activity number 4, which side do I choose, windward or leeward, has the following activities. So dapat by the end of this activity, you would be able to achieve the following objectives. The first one is that kailangan matutunan mo ng ma-differentiate ang windward and leeward side ng isang highland. And then you should be able as well to explain how topography affects climate. You will be needing the following materials for this activity. So you have to prepare your science notebook or a piece of paper and a pencil. Ayan. So for this activity, what I would like you to do first is to analyze this photo. So this photo is courtesy of smudailycampus.com, and it is showing you the windward and the leeward side of a mountain. Okay, so this is the windward side, and this one is the leeward side. And it has the following words that tend to describe what is happening on each side. Okay. If you want to have more time in observing this photo, you may pause this video. Remember, in observing, you have to use your senses. And you have to connect what you're seeing right now in the photo to your prior knowledge. If you have decided to continue, that means you're ready to answer the following questions. The first question is, what happens to water vapor as it rises over the mountain? So water vapor, it is referring to the cool, moist air. And what is happening to it as it rises over the mountain? If you need more time, you can pause this video now. Let us now tackle question number 2. Question number 2 is, which side of the mountain experiences low temperature? So, alin side ng mountain ito nakaka-experience ng low temperature? Low temperature, it refers to a kind of temperature na colder. Okay, so that is what we mean about lower temperature. You can pause this video if you need more time. Let us now tackle question number 3. Question number 3 is, which side of the mountain experiences high temperature? So by saying high temperature, aling side ng mountain ang mas mainit? So this is the mountain we're talking about, ha? Baka nasa question number 3 na tayo. Hindi nyo pa pala alam anong mountain. Inisip nyo baka itong mountain na to, kaya yung mountain na yun. No, we're talking about this one, yung pinakamalapit. Okay. Let us now tackle question number 4. Okay, I hope you're ready. Okay. Question number 4, what happens when air becomes warmer and drier as it moves down the leeward side? What happens to air? If you have decided to continue, let us proceed with question number 5. Okay, what dry region forms at the back of the mountain? So what do you call this dry region that is forming at the back of the mountain? So by saying back of the mountain, ito siya, itong side, leeward side na to. And then yung front of the mountain is the one right here, this side right here. Okay, so if you need more time, you can pause this video. Are you ready to take question number 6? Okay, let us answer. Answer question number 6. How does topography affect climate? Yeah. So that is our one of our objectives kanina. Remember? Okay. So if you know the answer to this question, that means you have achieved the objective for this activity. So yeah, I'll give you time now to answer this question. Go ahead. Are you through? Okay, make sure you are through. Okay, paki-finalize na ang iyong mga sagot. Okay, so make sure that yung mga sagot mo na yan, naintindihan mo yung mga questions na tinanong sa'yo. Okay, so ang kagandahan ng video lesson na to is that you can go back to the previous questions right before you check your own work. Okay, so I give you now time to go over the questions that I asked you and to check mo kung yun ba yung tinatanong talaga. Okay, I mean, kung tama ba yung sagot mo based dun sa mga tanong na binigay sa'yo. Okay, do your self-assessment now. Okay, it seems like you are now sure about your answers. Let's proceed with the answers. Okay, so the answer to question number 1 is it condenses to form clouds. Yung water vapor is galing dito kay ocean. Syempre, it's exposed to the sun. And you know what happens when liquid water, comes in contact with thermal energy that comes from the solar energy of the sun. Diba? It turns from liquid to gaseous. So that process is called evaporation. It's the process as well of turning water, specifically liquid water, into gaseous water, which is water vapor. And that water vapor is tinatangay siya ng hangin dahil yun nga, this is a cooler region. This one is quite a hotter region. So it tends to go here towards the windward side of the mountain. And as it goes up, it condenses. And then as it condenses, it turns, by saying condenses, it turns from gas to liquid. And as it does that, na-forming clouds, okay, which results to precipitation. Precipitation in our case here is rain. Okay, sa taas naman dito is snow. Okay, so in the Philippines naman, puro rain. Walang snow. Okay, that is it for question number 1. If your answer is close to this answer, you have to gauge kung ilang points ang ibibigay mo. Okay? Sa sarili mo. Okay, so let's proceed with question number 2. Which side of the mountain experiences low temperature? Alin yung mas may low on temperature? Syempre, it's going to be the windward side. Given na yun. It's self-explanatory, I think. Okay. Question number 3. Yung side naman ng mountain na may mas mataas na temperature is called the leeward side. So, mas marami siya, mas mataas yung kanyang temperature. Dala na rin nung dryness niya, okay? Walang sasangga dun sa thermal energy na nare-receive niya from the solar energy of the sun. So, given lang talaga na mas mataas yung kanyang temperature. Okay, let's proceed with the answer to question number 4. So what happens when air becomes warmer and drier as it moves down the leeward side? So it rises up the atmosphere. So yung air, kapag naging warm siya, naging dry, ang mangyayari sa kanya is it will just rise up the atmosphere. Ayun. Yeah, you remember this analogy? Ganun talaga ang behavior actually ng warm air. I think in your previous grade levels, ginamit yun yung example ng fridge, no? Kapag inopen nyo yung halimbawa, mas mainit sa labas ng fridge kaya sa loob. So kapag halimbawa, inopen mo yung freezer, which is usually found at the top, pag inopen mo siya, nagda-drop yung yung lamig sa sahig. Because that is the behavior of cold air. It tends to sink. And then ng warm air naman, it tends to rise. Okay, so medyo natin yan. Pakitandaan na lang natin yung ganung mga small things about air. Okay, question number 5. What dry region forms at the back of the mountain? Yung tawag dito is a rain shadow. Okay, this is a dry region. This is a very wet region, of course. Okay, dahil nga may precipitation. Pero itong region na to, na nasa mountain pa rin, pero sa likod siya, this is called a rain shadow. Okay. Okay, so now we proceed with question number 6. How does topography now affect climate? Moist wind coming from the flow up the mountain because temperature falls with altitude. Water vapor eventually condenses and there is precipitation. Nagkakaroon ng ulan dahil nga dun sa pag-condense nung liquid, nung gaseous water into liquid. Ayan. So, ano yung ibig sabihin natin by topography? It is a general lay of the land. Yung halimbawa, kung wala itong si mountain, syempre, wala namang ganitong klaseng climate sa area na to. Okay, bale, kung wala yung mountain in the first place, walang magra-rise na air, walang magiging rain shadow, walang magiging windward and leeward side. Pero because there is a mountain right here, naapektuhan yung climate. Okay, so napapataas yung air, nakakapag-cause yung gantong structure ng mas maraming ulan sa side na to, at halos walang ulan dito sa other side naman na to. Ayan, so that is the effect of topography and climate. It has the ability to alter the weather, the climate of a place. It also has the ability to raise some vegetation on one side and yung isa namang side, wala siyang vegetation. So it has that ability to raise vegetation on one side of a mountain. Ayun. Okay, so that is it for activity number 4. Which side do I choose? Windward or leeward? So which side do you choose nga ba? If you are going to be asked. Syempre, if you only have the option to live on this side or this side of the mountain, it will be smarter to live on this side, no? Kasi yung vegetation was rich. Yes? Do you agree? Of course, yeah. Ayan, so let's now proceed to the second part, which is discussion. So before we proceed with this, with this discussion, I would like you to get a piece of paper and a pencil. This is not an activity like a labeled activity, okay? Pero siguro based on what we talked about so far about windward and leeward sides, can you write their characteristics? Halimbawa, in terms of precipitation, present ba sa windward? Okay, so present ba sa leeward? May ulan ba? Okay, so in terms of droughts, saan kaya mas may tendency mangyari ang drought? Sa windward, sa leeward. Ayan, so I will be giving you more time to do this para lang mas ma-build nyo yung structure ng windward at saka na isang leeward side. Okay, so ayan. I'll give you a moment. You can pause this video if you want to, if you need more time. Okay? Okay ka na? Okay. So I hope that we did with the definitions, with the characteristics of the windward and the leeward sides na nilagay mo dyan sa paper mo, you will always remember them. Okay? Huwag ka magpalito. I know they sound like each other, pero kampalito. Okay. Alright, so landforms and bodies of water affect the climate of an area, as it was said a while ago. So itong body of water right here is actually an ocean, and because there is also a landform right here, itong mountain na to, na-alter niya yung magiging klima niya. Yung windward side of the mountain, mas nakaka-receive siya ng mas maraming precipitation, kaya mas nagkakaroon siya ng vegetation. And this results to a generally cooler and moist climate on this side. And then on the other side, it's usually warm and dry. Ayun. As it is seen in here, may cloud na nagre-reach na banda dito sa side na to ng mountain. Okay? This is an actual photo. Totoo to. Hindi siya animated. So, totoong nangyayari talaga yan, yung windward. Kaso, dito sa photo na to, mas ine-emphasize lang natin dito yung formation of clouds, the condensation of water vapor. Okay, so yun yung tandaan ninyo. And so, sa windward side, doon nagko-condense yung water vapor. Doon na-form yung clouds na nakakapag-cause ng precipitation. Dito naman sa isang side, yung leeward side, wala ka gaanong makikita talagang precipitation dyan. Diyan mo makikita yung shadow hunters, yung rain shadow. Okay, so usually sa mga beaches na merong mga malalapit na mga large landforms like mga mountains ganun, may observe mo 'yon. Okay, on one side high vegetation, on the other low vegetation. Tapos on one side, mas madalas ang ulan at ang snow. Doon naman sa kabilang side, halos wala. Okay. Now, we're done with the discussion. This is just parang sinolidify lang natin yung mga na-learn mo ng concepts by yourself dun sa activity. So, there's really no need to talk about these in details na because the learning competency that is expected from you is yun lang talaga yun. You have to be able to explain how topography affects the climate of a particular area. Okay. Hi, so my dear grade 9 student, we're now about to finish this session with the following activity. Activity, a climate culture. You should be able to explain how different factors affect climate, and you have to be able as well to appreciate the effect of climate in shaping the culture of a place. So medyo meron tayong dito, meron siyang parang social connect, okay? Social connect. So first is you have to study each photo na ipa-flash natin on screen and identify which factor affecting climate is being described or being discussed. So you have to complete the description right here, okay, by choosing between the words or group of words inside the parentheses to correct them. Ito. Actually, what I mean about this pala is into factor 1, kailangan mo isulat dito kung alin sa mga factors affecting climate itong tinutukoy ng photo na to. Okay, and then dito naman, pipili ka ng isang word. So, meron tayo sa A. Meron tayong decreases and increases. Pili ka lang ng isang word dyan na tingin mo is magpapakompleto at ng thought ng buong statement na to. And make sure na kompleto yung thought at tama rin yung thought. Okay, based dun sa mga natutunan mo na so far in this series. Okay, so first is factor number 1. Now, it has the following photo: polar zone, temperate zone, tropical zone. Tas equator, the tropics of Cancer and Capricorn, the Arctic Circle, and the Antarctic Circle. So this statement goes like, and the sun is right here. So places that are near the equator generally have higher temperatures since they acquire more sunlight. As the distance from the equator increases, the temperature decreases, increases. Pili ka na isa dyan. Okay, so the zone with the lowest temperatures is the temperate or polar zone. Okay, sige, I'll give you more time to answer this, to complete the descriptions for this slide. Okay? Go ahead. Alright, let's now proceed with the second item. For the second item, ito siya, si Mount Fuji, figure number 85. I'm sure you're familiar with this one. Okay, ginamit natin ang mga photos na to dun sa mga naging mga videos natin. So you don't have to worry about being presented ng mga photos na hindi gaano familiar. Dito, at least dito sa part na to ng activity. So for factor 2, what do you think is the factor being described by this photo of Mount Fuji na merong ice sa may taas? Ayan. And the statement goes like, this factor explains that the higher the area is from the sea level, the higher is its temperature. Also, it gives an explanation why mountains such as Mount Fuji has ice caps in its higher or lower regions. Okay. Let us now proceed with the next item. Okay, sige. I'll give you more time to finish this item. Go ahead. Let us now proceed with the item number 3. Ayan. So, item number 3, we have the following. Factor number 3. Okay, so, ito, medyo familiar. Kakatapos lang natin dito eh. No? Ayan. So, ano kayang factor ulit yan? Ito, medyo halata rin actually dito, oh. Ayan. Pero we used one word, diba, to refer to the windward and the leeward side of a mountain. Tama? Okay, so this is a photo of the windward and leeward side of a mountain. So tell me, what factor affecting climate are we talking about? Okay, so the statement goes like, this explains that the windward, leeward side of a mountain will have more vegetation. So the windward, leeward side will have warm and dry climates. Okay, so I'll give you time to finish this part of the activity. Okay, are you through? Let's now move to the next one. Okay, let's answer these. Okay, so the answer for the first item is latitude. Ayan. So hopefully naging tama. Tama sana yung sagot mo. Okay, make me proud. Okay, so places that are near the equator generally have higher temperatures. So mas matataas yung mga temperatures nila. Mas maiinit doon sa mga places near the equator since they acquire more sunlight. Okay? So as the distance from the equator increases, yung temperature naman is nagde-decrease. Again, ang sabi kasi dito, habang lumalayo, okay, from the equator, mas bumababa yung temperature. Tapos, yung zone naman, na may pinakamabababang temperatura, ay yung polar zone. Ayan. So, nasa Arctic Circle, yung mga nasa Antarctic Circle, masyado na mabababa yung mga temperatures dyan. Okay, so now we proceed with factor number 2. For factor number 2, si Mount Fuji, okay, yung factor na to, it's altitude. Ay, huwag pang palito ha. Si latitude, it is, yung factor na yon is named after latitude, which is an imaginary line, okay, na parallel sa equator. Ang altitude naman, what we mean about this is yung height. Okay, yung height ng place, yung altitude ng place. Okay, if you remember, yung above sea level, ayun. So, this factor explains that the higher the area is from the sea level, so kapag mas mataas yung area from the sea level, mas mababa yung kanyang temperature. Halimbawa, ang Baguio, mataas yung place na yun. Nagpapap pa nga madalas ang mga ears ko kapag akyat baba ako doon. So, ayun, kasi mas mataas yung place, dahil nga, ayun, mataas yung place, mababa rin temperature niya. And then it gives an explanation kung bakit may mga mountains na sobrang taas tulad ng Mount Fuji na yung ice cap nila is nasa may mga higher regions siya. Tapos yung mga nasa baba, malamig din naman sa baba kaso hindi siya kasi lamig ng mga regions sa taas. Okay, nakuha natin yan. Okay, very good. Kumbaga, si Baguio, may siya, since mataas siya, plateau ang area na yun, 'di ba? It's a plateau. So, kapag nasa taas na siya ng plateau or ng talampas, malamig na. Tapos kapag bumaba na from that plateau or talampas, mas nagiging warmer na yung ating temperatura. Okay, for the last item, we have factor number 3. Okay, so ito, bagong-bago lang to. Tama? Okay, so ang factor na to is topography. I think sinunod mo dyan, leeward and windward. Alright, so the correct answer is topography. So forgive me, I cannot give you that kind of consideration. Di pwede. Topography dapat. Okay, topography. So this explains that the windward side of the mountain has more vegetation kasi nakaka-receive din siya ng mas maraming precipitation. Tapos yun namang leeward side, it has warm and dry. It has warm and dry climates. So, nandun din yung rain shadow. Doon din yung area na nagra-rise yung warm air. Okay. Ayan. So, yun yung end ng evaluative part ng climate culture. Kasi meron siyang second part. So, the second part, this is what you need to do. I want you to, sarap po, no? Analyze each photo, then answer each question, each of the questions that will follow them. But you have to do this actually as a class sana. Pero since we're delivering this through asynchronous means, you have to just do this by yourself. Okay? O kaya, magsama ka ng sino mang kasama mo dyan na kasing edad mo and then learn together. Yeah? Okay, so this is figure number 96, ramen. Sarap ng ramen, no? So Japan has periods when it is cold, and a bowl of ramen is a welcome sight during such biting coldness. Okay, so itong ganitong klaseng masabaw na pagkain, napakasarap kainin yan during halimbawa yung mga cold climates, no? So tell me, anong Filipino food item do you think best complements our tropical climate, and why do you think so? Sige, kahit di kita naririnig. Sagutin mo tong question na to. Because admit it or not, our climate, it affected the way we live, no? And one of the most obvious indicators of culture, okay, and civilization is food. And the type of food may sometimes say something about what kind of climate we have. Okay, so what Filipino food item do you think best complements the tropical climate of the country, our country, Philippines, if you're here in the Philippines? And then tell me why. You can also do this by answering, you can also just answer these questions by writing your answers down on a piece of paper if that is what you're more comfortable with. I'll give you time to answer this question. Okay. Okay. So if you're my student, I would like you to post that answer, okay, your answer to this question in Edmodo. Okay. So I would like to see what you think. And next, we proceed with the second item. Traditional houses in the mountain province allows better insulation, protecting the inhabitants from the chilly air. Masyado sing maano rin, malamig-lamig din sa area na to. So the traditional houses are made this way. So medyo makapal nga yun. Tapos parang siyang igloo, no? Oh. So tell me, what a traditional Filipino nipahat kasi, okay, traditional Filipino nipahat, meron siyang elevated floor. So, bakit kaya ganon? Why do you think that is so? So, yeah, if you're Filipino, or siguro kahit di ka Filipino, pero if you have seen a traditional nipa hut or a traditional Filipino house, usually, we are elevating the floor nung mismong hut. Yeah. So, meron siyang maliit na hagdan, papunta dun, pataas dun sa part na yun ng bahay. What do you think is the reason why ganun yun? Tapos gawa siya sa aming Kapampangan, ang tawag namin dun sa floor is lande. So, mga bamboo sticks sila. Yeah, stick yung tawag doon, no? Gawa siya sa bamboo. Naka yung floor. At ang tawag namin mga Kapampangan doon, lande. Oh, lande. Okay, so what do you think is the reason why that is so? Answer this question, and then you can pause this video if you need more time. Ayan. So, let's proceed. I'm actually, share ko lang pala anyway. I had the privilege to, actually, I call that a privilege kasi it was an experience na feeling ko not common to everyone. Yung makatira ka dun sa ganong klaseng house. Yeah. There are also photos ng bahay na yun that still survive up until this day. And, yeah, it was a very simple life back then. Parang ang tanda ko na. Let's now proceed with the last item. Okay, the busy roads of ang alam ko Baguio, the busy roads of Baguio. Okay, so clothes protect us from the elements by providing us an extra layer of insulation. 'Di ba? Okay, so kapag masyado malamig, just wear some thicker clothes. Pero pag medyo mainit, you can wear some thinner clothes, smaller pieces, 'di ba? Ayun. What they do is they protect us from elements that may be harsh to our skin, okay? That may also affect our health in a negative way. So when visiting Baguio and Tagaytay City, which are really cold places, ano kayang klaseng clothing ang mga dapat mong i-prepare? O syempre, if you're going there for a 15-day vacation, di ba? Medyo matagal. So ano kayang klaseng mga clothes ang kailangan mong i-prepare? Okay, so let me know. So for our friends who are in this series, in the name of in the name of studying, of doing their studies by themselves, yung mga nagsa-self-study, I would like to know your responses to these questions. So if you have those answers and you want to share them with everyone, you can comment them down below. So I would love it kung yung mga answers ninyo are in the comment section. That will be so fun. Okay, so magkaroon tayo ng sharing, some kind of sharing. And that's it for the last activity, climate culture. Okay, if you have some questions, you can ask them to me during our synchronous video lesson sessions, Or if you are not one of my students, you can ask them in our comment section. Okay, and so if you have comments too, leave them in the comment section. So I hope that you take some time to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified once I upload new content. Again, and do not forget to like this video. Okay, so I hope I'll be seeing you in the next video in this series. You are done, officially done with this session, Earth and Space Science number 7. This is the Knowledge Catalog, and this is Sir Siege Malapas of Claro Abrecto Information and Communication Technology High School, and I'm hoping that you are having a very, very, very good day. See you in the next video.